Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. As the Miami Dolphins inch closer to one of the most pivotal drafts in recent memory, a storm is already brewing off the field, one that has nothing to do with prospects or trades. Instead, it revolves around a single digit, a symbol, a jersey number that to most might seem trivial, but not to everyone. Just days before the Dolphins are set to take the stage on draft night, a voice from the franchise's not-so-distant past stepped forward to stir the waters. That voice belongs to none other than Ryan Fitzpatrick, a beloved figure in Miami for his heart, his beard, and his unpredictable magic on the gridiron. And this time, Fitzpatrick wasn't pulling off a last-second comeback. He was calling out a choice, a very specific one. Zach Wilson, the former second overall pick who arrived in Miami after a rocky stint in Denver, made a bold and undeniably curious decision upon his arrival. He chose to wear jersey number 0. For some, it's just a number. For Fitzpatrick, it's a statement, one that doesn't sit right. Thursday morning, as the NFL world buzzed with rumors and mock drafts, Fitzpatrick took to social media with a message. It wasn't loud, it wasn't angry, but it was pointed. "Hey Zach," he wrote, "there's always time to change your mind. I know you're friends with Braxton Berrios, and I know it worked for Orlando Woolridge, but if you're trying to build back your career and be taken serious, which I'm sure you are, this won't help." At first glance, it might seem like typical Fitzpatrick humor, dry, layered with sarcasm, but look closer and there's something deeper beneath the smirk. This wasn't just a playful jab. It was a subtle warning, a challenge, a reality check, because while it's true that a jersey number doesn't win games or throw touchdowns, it does carry weight. It tells a story, and the story of 0 is still being written. It's fresh, experimental, daring maybe, but hollow in history. There's no Montana in 0, no Brady, no Elway, no icons in that empty circle. The number feels detached, more style than substance, flash without the foundation. A wide receiver could wear it and make it shine. A cornerback could bring attitude to it. An edge rusher could give it menace. But a quarterback? That's the heart of Fitzpatrick's concern. Wilson's career is already teetering on the edge. Once hailed as the future of the New York Jets, his fall from grace was swift and unforgiving. A move to Denver didn't help reset the narrative. Now in Miami, he has a rare opportunity, a second chance, albeit as a backup behind a starter. With a complex medical history, Tua Tagovailoa's talent is undeniable. So is the fragility of his availability. The door to the field might open sooner than expected. The question is, will Wilson walk through it prepared, focused, and respected? Or will he walk through it wearing 0, with critics already sharpening their knives? Fitzpatrick knows what it means to fight for a role, to earn a locker room's respect, to claw back into relevance. His journey was never smooth, and maybe that's why he's so sensitive to the optics. He's not saying Wilson can't wear 0. He's asking whether he should, especially now. Especially here. There's also an emotional undercurrent to Fitzpatrick's reaction. This isn't just about numbers or uniforms. This is about legacy, about culture, about what it means to step into a locker room and try to lead. Fitzpatrick spent 2 unforgettable years in Miami. He wasn't just a quarterback, he was a tone setter, a leader, a bridge between eras. And in some ways, he still feels protective of the team's identity. By calling out Wilson publicly, he's reminding everyone that quarterbacks in Miami carry more than playbooks. They carry expectations, pressure, history. Wilson's choice of 0 might have felt like a fresh start, but for some, it looked more like a reset without roots, a gesture without gravity. Now the ball is in Wilson's court. He doesn't need to respond publicly. He doesn't need to trade in a jersey. But come training camp, and maybe even during the season, every throw, every read, every snap will be viewed through this lens. Did he earn the number? Or was it just another headline in a career that has already had too many? And if Tua goes down, and let's face it, recent history says that's a possibility, Wilson won't have time to debate jersey aesthetics. He'll be under center carrying the hopes of a franchise looking to climb from potential to contender. In that moment, the number on his back won't protect him. Only performance will. Fitzpatrick's message wasn't a dismissal. It was a challenge, a nudge, maybe even a lifeline. Wilson can make zero mean something. He can fill it with fire, wins, and redemption, but it won't be easy. Nothing about his NFL journey has been. For now, all eyes turn to Thursday night, where the Dolphins will make choices that shape their future. But one subplot is already simmering, not on a draft board, but on a nameplate, one digit, one quarterback. One more chance to get it right. The stage is set. The spotlight is coming. And when it hits, Zach Wilson will have to prove that the number on his jersey isn't empty after all. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The Miami Dolphins have just changed the game. Literally, in a move that sent shockwaves through the NFL world, the Dolphins signed star running back Saquon Barkley, adding yet another layer of danger to an already explosive offense. And let's not pretend this is just another free agent pickup. This is a statement. This is a franchise saying loud and clear, we're coming for everything. You already had Tyreek Hill, arguably the most terrifying deep threat in football. You already had Hill-Waddle, a burner in his own right, one of the fastest, most dynamic receivers in the league. And now you've got Saquon Barkley, a one-cut monster who can break a 60-yarder at any given moment, whether it's on the ground or through the air. Defensive coordinators across the AFC are already losing sleep. Just imagine the possibilities. Pre-snap motion with Hill and Waddle racing across the formation, drawing eyes, pulling safeties out of position. And then boom! Barkley cuts through the line on an inside zone. Or picture this. Play action out of a two-back set. Barkley leaks into the flat. Hill streaks up the sideline, and Waddle runs a deep crosser. Pick your poison. Blitz and you leave your secondary hanging. Sit back and watch Barkley eat. It's the kind of offensive firepower that forces teams to rethink how they even approach game planning. For Barkley, this is more than just a new team. It's a revival. After years of battling injuries and inconsistencies in New York, he now walks into a system built for explosion, speed, and versatility. No longer will he be the lone soldier carrying a franchise on his back. In Miami, he becomes part of a trio that's built to torch defenses in waves. And that might be the scariest part. Barkley doesn't have to carry the ball 25 times a game. He just has to be Saquon. Decisive, explosive, and dangerous with every touch. And don't overlook what this means for Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins. Quarterback who's had his fair share of critics suddenly finds himself operating the controls of a Ferrari. Questions about Tua's ceiling? Those will be answered when he's flanked by speed demons and a Pro Bowl caliber back who can bail him out in the flats or punish teams between the tackles. The pressure shifts. Not away from Tua entirely, but it becomes shared across the unit. And that balance, that's what great offenses are made of. Head coach Mike McDaniel must be smiling from ear to ear. His Shanahan-inspired offense thrives on misdirection, timing, and creating mismatches in space. Now he has 3 nuclear weapons to deploy however he sees fit. Motion-heavy sets, jet sweeps, split-back formations, empty looks with Barkley split wide. It's a sandbox of creativity, and McDaniel has the imagination, and now the personnel, to bring it to life. There's also the intangible impact here. Signing a player like Barkley sends a message inside the locker room. It says, we're not content with 9-8. We're not just here to make the playoffs. We want to win it all. It energizes a team that's been knocking on the door, but hasn't quite broken through. It also tells veterans, guys like Hill and Terron Armstead, that the front office is serious about going for it. There's no rebuild, no patience. The time is now. And the AFC East, it just got a whole lot more interesting. The Bills are still a force. The Jets are hoping for a full season of Aaron Rodgers. The Patriots are retooling. But the Dolphins, they've doubled down on their identity. Fast, aggressive, unapologetically dangerous if the weather holds and the injuries stay away. This is a team that can go toe-to-toe with anyone. The Dolphins haven't looked this threatening since the Dan Marino days. And even then, they didn't have this kind of balance. Let's not forget what Barkley brings off the field either. He's a leader, a locker room presence, a pro's pro. He handled the chaos in New York with class and resilience. He played through pain, through a carousel of coaches and quarterbacks, and never once quit. That's the kind of guy you want in the foxhole with you when the games get tight in December. And in Miami, surrounded by elite talent and a coach who gets it, you might finally see the best version of Saquon. The fit couldn't be better. Barkley doesn't need 300 touches. He needs the right 200. He needs the red zone touches that matter. The third down plays that keep drives alive. The big screens that flip the field. And with Hill and Waddle demanding double coverage, Barkley will see more light boxes than he's seen in years. He'll be running into space, not walls. And that's where he thrives. Open space, a crease, and a full head of steam. What this move also does is open up the Dolphins' playbook in new, dangerous ways. Expect more RPOs. Expect more play action. Expect more looks that keep defenses guessing. Because now you can't just focus on stopping the pass. You can't overcommit to the outside. Not with number 26 lurking in the backfield. And that's what makes this team lethal. It's not just speed. It's the ability to threaten every blade of grass, every down, every drive. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. Injuries happen. Chemistry takes time. Expectations can crush teams just as easily as they can inspire them. But if you're a Dolphins fan, you've got every reason to believe this could be the start of something special. You don't bring in a player like Barkley just to fill a gap. You do it to go all in. This is Miami's window. This is their moment, and they've kicked the door open. Saquon Barkley in teal and orange isn't just a splash. It's a tsunami. It's a declaration that the Dolphins aren't content with being the fastest team in the league. They want to be the most complete, the most dangerous, the team nobody wants to face in January. So buckle up, because this version of the Miami Dolphins is not just fun on paper. It's a nightmare in real life. And with Barkley in the backfield, Hill flying downfield, and Waddle carving up defenses underneath, there's no telling just how high this team can fly. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow. Dolphins fan, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.